The Love Classical concert is going to be a concert with rising stars of classical music, and there'll be a really varied programme actually, with Jamie Phillips conducting, a guitarist and a singer, and I'll be playing saxophone. The Royal Albert Hall is one of, if not my favourite venue. It's such a lovely warm hall. It always feels so warm and homely. I think it's the circle shape, and even though it has such a huge capacity, it always feels intimate, and the audience is always very friendly and warm. My most recent performance here was at the BAFTAs, which is probably the scariest concert that I've ever played at. But it was great that it was in the Albert Hall because it felt a bit more homely. The first time I performed here was the John Williams prom in 2017, and I'd never been to a prom before that. And so I'd never experienced the atmosphere at that festival, and it's just incredible. So I remember walking out. It had always been my dream since I was really young to play at the Albert Hall, and I remember just walking out on that stage and it all feeling really quite surreal to actually be happening, and at such a prominent festival such as the Proms. And that's one of my favourite ever concerts. It was just such an exhilarating experience. The last night of the Proms, that was. I don't really have any words for that. It's one of the best experiences ever, but also just mad. It's such a mad concert. I look down to the front row and you see someone with a mask on of Prince Harry, and then 2 rows back and there's balloons going up everywhere. But it was great fun. I really enjoyed it. In the Rising Stars concert, I'll be playing Where the Bee Dances by Michael Nyman, which is a concerto for soprano, saxophone and orchestra with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. I really love the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and it's always an amazing experience to play with such a kind of mass and force of sound behind you. And the Nyman is such a great piece. It's inspired by Shakespeare's The Tempest, so it starts off really, really quietly, which in a hall like this you can play really quietly and bring everyone in, and then it's goes through a whole series of emotions and rhythmic ideas, and ends up being quite epic at the end. I think that music has to become central to the education system in order to inspire the next generation. We have to, I think, have free access for all children. It's such an amazing experience to be able to play an instrument, and you can learn so much from it outside of the skills of just the instrument. There's empathy and cooperation, dedication, and that has to be encouraged for the next generation. We have to realise the importance of it and offer it to every child. But the Royal Albert Hall does amazing education and outreach projects, and we have to, I think, keep doing as much of that as we can, but also take it into the schools and realise the absolute essential importance of it. I started when I was 7 in a carnival band called the Barracudas Carnival Band, and there were stilts, dance, percussion and costume making. It was a big art centre, and I came to saxophone last and just fell in love with it there. I really love David Bowie. He's been a big musical inspiration, and then saxophonists such as John Hall and Barbara Thompson. I really love Stravinsky. He's one of my favourite composers, and I think his music is so alive and electric. And I also love Michael Nyman. He's one of my favourite composers, so I'm excited to be performing his concerto again. And also composers like Prokofiev. I like a really wide range of music. I think I've had so many amazing opportunities through being able to access music, and I feel quite a responsibility to pass that on as much as I can to the next generation, whether that means going into a school and playing to school children or doing a workshop or anything. I think I've learnt so much and have felt so much happiness from music that I feel I have a duty to pass that on. I always enjoy watching young classical performers, and I always find it really inspirational. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Sean and Lauren perform, because I think as musicians we often take inspiration from other musicians all the time, and seeing other instrumentalists, I think it'll be a really brilliant concert.